So today we are going to talk about womanhood or some phase of womanhood and the journey of womanhood, right from being a girl to a teenager to a lady to a woman. It's beautiful, but at the same time, it is complex, and complex to how? Really, really complex. From all these changes, a female body goes through so much of hormonal chaos, or I would say an explosion, and it is all because of this one iron lady called estrogen. And if I would say it simply, I could say that it's like a switch on and a switch off. So the entry into your periods or the entry into puberty is a switch on of your estrogen, and the exit from your fertile phase or your exit from your reproductive phase is the switch off of estrogens, which is your menopause. And today we are going to speak about the time around menopause or the perimenopause. And maybe if I would to describe perimenopause very sweetly, I would say that it is a letter which says, "Dear period, I'm breaking up with you." So maybe we can think of perimenopause as a notice period which your menstrual cycle is giving you before it decides to commence its duties. Its duties of forming eggs, its duty of giving birth, its duty of giving you your fertile time. So perimenopause is our topic for today. Now, many people ask, can we define the perimenopausal period? Can we say how long it would be, or can we have any test to decide how long a perimenopause could be, or is there a correct definition for it? So remember that perimenopause is a stage, एंड एक स्टेज या तो 2 इंच का रह सकता है या 6 फीट का रह सकता है या 12 फीट का रह सकता है या 24 फीट का रह सकता है. सो सेम थिंग विथ योर पेरीमेनोपॉज. It is a process, it is a transition, it is a stage. For one woman it could be hardly anything. For one woman it could be a few months, for one woman it could be few years, and for one woman it could be unending. So, describing a perimenopause for one woman cannot be a description for another woman. It is different for each person and it is all normal. We first have to understand that a woman's body just has different flowers. Every woman is different. So, every woman has a different phase which she goes through, different hormones, different changes, different lifestyles, so different menopauses. Now, when I say that you're going to have a breakup with your periods, some women would say, "Hush, Gaya, Shanti." So let's start the perimenopausal phase description with a "I love you" and "I love you not." करते थे ना अपन बचपन में, with those flowers, "I love you" and "I love you not." So what is it about perimenopause that you love? No periods, no contraception, bye bye to condoms, to tablets, to any kind of fear that you would be pregnant when you don't want to be. What else? Bye bye to? Bye bye to PMS. Oh, the breast tenderness is gone, the mood swings are gone, the cravings are gone, the wait for the period is gone. I love you, Zindagi. I love you, perimenopause. But then it has "I love you not" phase also. The "I love you not" phase, the symptoms, the hot flushes, which is most common, almost like 45 to 50% of women face hot flushes. It's as if you're burning. Yeah, there you go with the slide. Hot flushes 45%, night sweats 33%. Hot flushes, there is one joke which says, it's God preparing you to burn in hell. The burn, as if you're a volcano which is ready to erupt, and people around it are anyways going to run. We'll talk about it in a bit, why people will run, not because of your hot flushes, but because some other reasons. And we'll talk about that soon. And then what else? Okay. I love you, not dry vaginas. You would rather hear your vagina crack. They are as dry and as hurting and as irritative and as itchy. The vaginas. Also, love you not, most women come weight gain. पेट बढ़ रहा है, hips बढ़ रहा है. You've crossed your 40s. Welcome to perimenopause. What else? Irritation, mood swings. Again, let me quote a joke here. There's a joke which says that, when you've just gotten used to your PMS and you've gotten used to your mood swings and you've gotten used to your breast tenderness, and you've entered 40 and your doctor says, welcome to perimenopause. And it's like, So this is like the older sister of your PMS or your puberty symptoms. So all the changes that happen, be it at the stages of puberty, be it at the stages of your PMS, or be it at the stages of menopause, is all attributed to two hormones called the estrogens and the progesterones. Estrogen was your female hormone, which is now going to go, it's going to say bye-bye to you. And then will come in all the problems which are related to a deficiency of estrogen. That means a fall in the estrogen, getting rise to other hormones called progesterones, which have their own side effects. Estrogens also have their side effects, but remember, they are the happy hormones. So now that we say that perimenopause is the end of your periods, harsh, does any freedom come free? No such luck. Every freedom has a चिट्ठी फटती है, मतलब every freedom has a price that you have to pay, and the price for menopause for some people can be huge. Now, perimenopause, let me put it this way that हर चीज का एक साइन एंड सिम्टम होता है या निशानी होती है. जैसे भाई हम बुढ़े हो गए, हमारे बाल वाइट हो गए, वो हमारी बुढ़ापे की निशानी है. So same way menopause comes with its nishanis or with its signs and symptoms. And the signs and symptoms of menopause are a long list. I mean, so long that as long as I say the long, it's not going to be enough. So let me quickly list a few and then we can talk about it and also talk about how to deal with these symptoms. Because obviously, remember that menopause or perimenopause is a phase in your life. It is not the end of your life. So you can't say, bhai, okay, I'm done. That's it. मैंने अपना कर लिया, मैंने अपना जी लिया. No, you're still young. You're getting into a new phase. So any new phase is a new beginning of life. So you have to get it into with that equal amount of zeal. And trust me, it is not going to be easy because entering a perimenopause is extremely difficult. Trust me, extremely difficult. So, before I start listing out the symptoms, most of you who are actually in your perimenopausal phases, which I'm assuming most of my audience is, will have read something called the Seven Dwarfs. Has anyone read of these Seven Dwarfs? I wish this would be not online and I could see your faces and see how bored you are with listening to me. So the Seven Dwarfs is itchy, bitchy, sweaty, sleepy, bloated, forgetful, and psycho. How many of you are actually relating to what I'm saying? Are you itchy, bitchy, sweaty, sleepy, bloated, forgetful, and psycho? So the symptoms, now let's seriously start with the symptoms, okay? And as we go by, you'll understand the Seven Dwarfs. So first, the period. क्या होने वाला है पीरियड को? Once your hormone ka switch off ho gaya, your estrogens are getting out, they are not getting out of your body. Remember that they are converting into adipose tissue, matlab fat. They are converting into fat, and they're going to be depositing on your tummy and on your hips. So when that estrogen converts into fat and deposits on your tummy and your hips, that's when most of the people come with, मैं मोटी हो गई हूँ, I have not changed my खाना, in fact I have stopped eating, I am still growing fat, I'm sure it is thyroid, I'm sure it is something wrong, I am sure कुछ तो गड़बड़ है भाई, आप कुछ टेस्ट करो. क्या टेस्ट करें भाई, आप 40 हो गए हो, you are entering your perimenopause. So that estrogen converting into fat and getting into your adipose tissue is going to cause all these chaotic changes that now I'm going to talk about. So the first is obviously your period. Now, when we talk about the period, for some people, the period is so chaotic that it could come every week and it could bleed for a week, and it could be so heavy that you are almost sitting in the washroom and pouring blood all over. That means you're just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. You're bleeding more number of days, you're bleeding shorter cycles, and you're bleeding heavier. That is your period during your perimenopause, and you are holding your head for your period to stop. Some people, periods become really scanty. One day, hardly a day, hardly a pad. Coming in 2 months, coming in 6 months, coming in 5 months. What is the disadvantage of this? You want to go to a temple, you want to go to a pilgrimage, you want to go to a beach. When is the period going to come? Come plan kare. God alone knows. And there is no way to predict that. And so, should you take tablets if you don't get your periods? No, it's normal. It's normal. Yes, you want to do something, go get checked. But yes, it is normal. Some lucky people, trust me, they are lucky. The period just stops. It's gone. It's gone. 12 months, no period. Period is gone. That is a very, very small segment of women, and trust me, they are lucky. Trust me, they are lucky. There are very, very few women who just stop their periods. Either there is chaos or there is scarcity. There is obviously some change which comes into your period before your menopause. Many people ask, मैडम ये कब खत्म होगा, ये कब जाएगा, ये कितने दिन चलेगा? I don't know. I don't know. It could be genetic sometimes. That means, just say your mom or your grandparents have had, it can affect your menopausal phases. That means you normally suffer that much or that less. But obviously, nowadays, because of your lifestyle changes and your habits and your food changes and so many other things nowadays, the stress levels, it is not exactly the same. So obviously it is difficult to predict when the period is going to go, but these are a few changes that could happen when your period is about to go. Now, along with your period changes, there could be breast changes. That means breast tenderness, there could be breast pain, there could be increase in breast, lumpiness of breast, so many other changes that could be happening. Now, breast tenderness is something that you should not worry about, but at the same time, it is very important that you get your breast checked. Nowadays, cancers are very, very prevalent. Not that pain is a symptom of cancer, but it is always good to get checked. I am just taking this opportunity to mention about breast check because I'm talking about breast tenderness. It has no connection. Please be aware. Okay. Self breast examination is one of the best things to do. That means clinically checking your breast on your own once in a month, and post 40 once in 3 years doing your mammography. Okay, diverted from the topic, but then obviously remember your perimenopausal phases are also important for your cancer screenings. Then come the hot flushes. The hot flushes and the night sweats. Everyone is sitting in AC and you're sweating and you're sweating. You're hot. You know, women usually say that we like to be the smoky hot woman, but remember that that is not the time when you have menopause in your mind. Menopause hot flushes can be bad, they can be troublesome, but ठीक है, We have ways to handle them. I'll speak about the handling part a little later. Let's first get into all the problems and then we come into all the solutions. So, hot flushes, night sweats, another important symptom. Then comes your anxiety and depression. Now, many women post their 40s. Usually, the family members come saying that something is wrong with my mom, something is wrong with my wife. She is just shouting out of nowhere. She's crying out of nowhere. She's irritated out of nowhere. These are also symptoms of perimenopause. That means it is a warning sign that you're going into your menopause. That could be anxiety or irritation or depression at a point where it can be overcome by your own power. It could be at a point where you need some medical help. There could be some point where you could manage with some yoga. Now again, management we will come to again a little later. Then come your lows. What are lows? Low libido. Low libido, no ichha to have sex. Low drive or failure to thrive. That means a woman is having so much work, this much interest to do it. That means you do not want to get out of your bed and start your daily routine, or you don't want to live, you don't want to have another day. The best thing that you can do, or the highest possible thing that you can do, is breathe for the day and blink your eyes for the day. उससे ज्यादा मेरे से तो नहीं होगा भाई. That is failure to thrive. Fatigue, tiredness, not wanting to do any work, not having the interest or the desire or the drive to do anything. Then comes low mood, which again goes into your depressions and your anxieties. Then for women, very, very important changes of your hair, skin, nails, hair is falling, skin is wrinkling, skin mein jaan nahi hai, skin is pigmenting. That means you're having dark colorations of your skin, hair, and nail changes. Then come your vaginal changes. As I mentioned earlier, you could hear it crack. It is that painful. It could be that itchy. It could be that horrible. There could be a discharge and yet it would be dry. It's called atrophic vaginitis. That means you are going into changes of the vagina because of the lack of your estrogens, the vaginal changes. Then you have your memory changes. See, I'm forgetting. Doesn't mean I'm perimenopausal. Don't go on my hair. Okay, I'm in the age group, but still don't go on my hair. Memory changes. I left the key maybe in the car. So I was at the symptoms. Memory changes we spoke about. Then we have the UTIs, urinary tract infections. Many women post their 40s complain that they are repeatedly having vaginal infections or repeatedly having UTIs or urinary tract infections, burning in urine, burning and passing more number of times, having incontinence in urine. That means having no control of your urine. You're coughing, you're passing urine, you're lifting weights, you're coughing urine. Uh, Coughing urine, it's irritating. It's easy for me to say here, but the women who face the incontinence are very, very delicate in that phase of incontinence. Whenever they go out, it is a problem because washrooms are an issue, or if they pass or leak that little urine, they may smell. There are so many fears that surround a woman at that age. Then you come to your bowel issues. A bowel issue, again, there could be constipation or there could be diarrhea. A bowel, just like your body slows down in its functioning, the bowels also slow down in their function. That means they work a little slower. The digestive system is a little slower. More of acidity, less of digestion, sometimes loose motions. So many different changes can happen in your bowel issues. Then you could have sleep issues. Now, some women could sleep like babies, but most people vanish on their sleep. That means most people do not sleep well. Now, a very important thing to understand here is that although women of that age do not sleep well, it is not that it is going to affect them. Basically, God has made that phase in such a way that women at that phase do not require much of sleep. मतलब उनको जो 3 घंटे मिलते हैं वो बस है. They do not suffer from lack of sleep. Now, why that has been made, that God Almighty knows. Is it for us to pray, or I really don't know. But they say no, that is the age to pray, or that is the age to meditate, or get closer to God, or whatever it is. So sleep becomes lesser does not mean that your body requires more sleep and you're not getting it. Most women fret that they are not sleeping. That is the problem. The problem is not the less sleep, right? So I think I've covered a long list. Now if there are any other symptoms that y'all are facing, which could be because the list I told you is long out of the screen, you can always share it with me and then we can have a discussion on that. Okay, now once we've discussed the symptoms, now remember that no problem is without a solution, or we should never throw a problem. You should always talk about solutions. Okay. So now when we are talking about solutions, now estrogen तो body से चला गया, तो क्या estrogens खाएंगे? No. Does it mean we are going to take medicines? No, because it's all normal. So what are we going to do? So one, we have to maintain a good diet. Now when I say good diet, I do not say don't eat out or don't eat junk or don't eat this or don't eat that. I only mean that you have to have a balanced diet. I have seen many ladies, or maybe let me be more precise, Indian women. I am an Indian woman, so I know for sure that even if you negate it, half the times you have not eaten your breakfast till 12 o'clock in the morning, before you have finished cooking, before you have finished cleaning, before you have sent your children to school, before you have given food to your in-laws. और भी होगी बहुत सारी list भाई. Okay, so remember that that is a phase when you have to love yourself. If you do not love yourself a little bit, okay, I'm not saying love only yourself, a little bit, if you do not take care of your body, you will not be able to sustain that phase. It is a difficult phase. Remember, I said it's a volcano. So it's a volcano which only you can take care of if you take care of yourself. So the moment you get up in the morning, it is not a crime to first have a little biscuit and chai. Please do not have plain chai. As I said, the bubbles are very weak. It will cause more acidity. Okay, so diet, small, frequent feeds, eat like a child, eat like pregnancy, eat everything, eat nutritious. Don't say, Are hum to budde ho gaye, this is not the time to have dates or this is not the time to have milk. You need everything. You need calcium, you need iron, you need proteins, you need your minerals, you need everything. You need more fiber because the motion is going to be an issue. So you need a wholesome meal, is what I'm trying to be very, very short in saying, that you have to eat well. Right? Now, diet, when you include more of carbohydrates and sugars in your diet, then it causes more problems. So you have to make sure that you lessen your carbohydrates and improve on your proteins and your vitamins and your minerals and eat well. ठीक है. Now one more reason why I'm saying, see, post 40 there are, जितना भी मैं बोलूं कि एक्सरसाइज करो या ये करो या वो करो, we know that post 40 most of us, not only post 40, nowadays all lifestyles are sedentary. So there will be not much of activity in your life and already you're gaining weight. So obviously you do not want to gain more kilos. You obviously want to maintain your weight, not just cosmetically, it's for your own confidence. So remember that for your health, for your no diabetes or no hypertensions or no cholesterols, it is important that you decrease your carb intake. Now many people ask me, earlier times तो carb खाते थे भाई, बिंदास होके rice खाते थे लोग. हाँ, but उनकी activity भी तो कितनी थी. There was no Swiggy and there was no Blinkit and there was no bikes and there was no cars. People used to walk. Okay, now my example, in my time, school life, I had to walk to school. There was no choice. 4 kilometers we used to walk. आजकल है मुझे टीवी चालू करना है. In my childhood I used to get up, go switch on the TV. आजकल है, even if we want to, it's only the remote. There is no switch on the TV. So lifestyles have changed, so we have to make sure that every day in our life we have some activity. Now remember that that activity has to be something that you like, that you enjoy, that you look forward to. If you do not enjoy that activity, trust me, you will do it for one day. Today I've given a motivational talk, bhai karna hai, you will do it for one day, you will do it for 2 days, you will go 1 week, मार के 10 दिन, उसके साथ उसके बाद there will be excuses. नहीं, today my leg is paining, नहीं, today I have to cook, today I have guests, फलाना फलाना फलाना. So unless you enjoy your activity or your routine or your yoga or your gym or your dance or whatever that you're doing, it is not going to sustain. So, a moderate, sustained activity is something that is very important in your perimenopausal phase. It is important throughout your life, but at that time, it is really, really important. Okay? So, diet and two things that are extremely important. Then we come to supplements. Now, because I said estrogens go down, does it mean that we start eating estrogens? I give you a point. There is a non hormonal estrogen. There is a plant extract of estrogen. There is a dietary intake of estrogen. We can do that. People who are not hypothyroid can have soya in their diet. Soya is a natural form of estrogen. So, estrogens can be taken in dietary forms, they can be taken in supplements, they can also be taken in some tablets like omega 3, or you can always consult your gynecologist. There are few supplements which are available which are plant extracts of estrogen, which can help you abate your symptoms. Matlab, you will not blast like a volcano and make all your children run away in the house. At least that much. So the supplements are the third thing. The fourth thing is when you feel that you are not able to handle it, So they say that till you reach your menopause, you have a handle on your life, and then the handle is lost. So if you feel that that handle is losing, there is nothing wrong going and consulting your gynecologist or consulting with even a psychologist or a counselor, whoever you want to talk to. The first thing is always talk. Not only talk to someone outside, I need the whole family to understand that this woman is going through a perimenopause. So the husband or the in-laws or the children have to understand that if my mom is shouting, it's okay, it's normal, she will be fine and she is going through her perimenopause. And there are many scenarios wherein a mother is a perimenopausal and the child is a pubertal. So you imagine, that is the real tip. So, I'm just joking. ठीक है ना. So basically ये perimenopausal phase जो है उसमें अपने को these are your home remedies, or you say the natural remedies, or the whatever you call that. The last is when nothing is getting handled. Then you have your hormones coming in, you have your antidepressants coming in, you have so many medication creams. If it's just a vaginal thing, you have a vaginal cream available, you have a local application cream available. There are so many things available. Medicine has made high progress, but remember that um, I normally say that pregnancy is not science, so womanhood is also not science. Womanhood is just beautiful, you just have to enjoy it. And I think once you take it into your stride and people around you are there to support you, especially in India where we have family support. In places like the US and UK and the Western world, where usually we are nuclear or alone or managing everything ourselves, it's even more difficult. There they have support groups. In India, family is our support group, our friends are our support group, our colleagues are our support group. So I think that's how we have to manage it. And Maybe there is a very nice couplet which I usually like. Women are very strong. I always quote the example that a woman's mind is like, a million browsing tabs open all together, and she has the capacity to manage each of them. Unlike men, does not mean men are less, it just means women are women. And during this perimenopausal phase, there will be some days where you will be warriors, there will be some days where you will be just a broken mess, and there will be some days where you will be both. But remember that every day you have to be standing, you have to be fighting, and you have to be trying. And then you get over it, and then your periods will be gone. You'll be menopause. Let me leave the arena open to you now. Anything that you've understood or not understood, or anything that you would want to ask me. There is one more thing that maybe I should mention is that, see, although there is no particular test that we can actually diagnose a perimenopause or a perimenopause, Lifestyle has nowadays come out with these cute little kits, just like pregnancy kits, and they somehow try to tell you the fluctuations of your hormones. So maybe I think you could give them a little insight about it.
So as how doctor explained, like we cannot tell you like how far is your menopause. So we have come up with the solution. Like our perimenopause test is the first ever FDA cleared blood test, which will define like how many year or a month you are exactly away from attaining your final menstrual period. So it is a self collection kit. You don't need to go out to collect your to give your sample. The kit will be delivered to your door sample. The sample collection will be like dry blood spot. So we will have a lancet, and through lancet you can prick your fingertip, and like on the dry blood spot we have total number of 8 spot where you have to drop each drop blood drop, and then the result will be you will be getting your result in 3 days, and we are testing the three hormones, that is AMH, TSH, and FT4. So the role of AMH is that it will define how long is your menopause. TSH and FT4 we are covering as an extra biomarker, and that will give you an insight on your thyroidal issue. So the reason why we have included TSH and FT4 in our perimenopause kit is because the perimenopause symptoms are very much overlapping with thyroidal symptoms. So if you will open our kit, it will look like this. So we have lancet to prick. Then we have a DBS card, which will be in aluminium pouch. Then we have dry swab, like to clean your finger, like alcohol swab and dry swab to clean your fingers. Then we have banded to uh, to put it on the spot where you have prick. Then we have a collection manual which gives you a detailed insight how to collect the sample, and then a thank you card, a hologram sticker, and a written envelope in which you can pack your kit and return it to us. So there is a offer which will be like for the like the kit price is currently 3500, but on our website, since we have launched it recently, currently the price is 3000. But since we are promoting our product through this webinar, so we are offering for 24 hours, like for you people who have joined our webinar, we are giving extra 500 off on this kit. So to use this kit, like I'll be mentioning the code that can be used. It is PERI 500, PERI 500, which will be applicable for next 24 hours. And I'll be sharing a link where you can go, like it's our website link where you can directly purchase. It's not a tough thing. It's just like a other easy e-coms thing.
Yes. So now that you mentioned thyroid, let me mention here. See, remember that a woman's life, each time you go through your hormonal explosion, the puberty and your menopause. Let me call it the estrogen explosion or the hormone explosion. Each time you go through your transitions, your thyroid levels also can change because it is also controlled by one of the same areas which control your hormones. So thyroid changes are very, very common during your puberty as well as during your menopause. So thyroid test is one of the important tests that we normally do. See, if you remember, I was talking about the breast cancer test, thyroid test is another, and the third is your pap smear or your cervical cancer screening test. Now, these are three very, very important tests that you should normally do post your 40. I saw a couple of questions, one on induced perimenopause. Now, induced perimenopause is basically of two types. One is by certain hormones or injections, and the second is removal of the uterus and ovaries. Now, let me emphasize that a menopause happens only if you remove your ovaries, not only a uterus. Many people think that once you've removed your uterus, you're going to become menopausal or you're going to face lots of problems. It's a myth. Many people come to us with huge fibroids or bleeding issues, needing a hysterectomy, and ask, won't I have problems once I remove my uterus? Remember, there is no problem in removing a uterus if you require it. But the only problem if you remove your ovaries is that you're going to become menopausal. So always we preferably do not agree to a hysterectomy at young ages or removal of ovaries at young ages, which is an induced menopause. There are certain indications of an induced menopause as well. People who must be suffering with endometriosis will know what I am saying. Endometriosis is a hormonal problem wherein the endometrium, that means the lining of the uterus, the cells are present on the ovary, and these people have severe pain during their periods, and it is so severe that they quality of lives are hampered. That means they cannot survive each period is like a seeing hell for them. There are young women even without children who get their ovaries removed to prevent this endometriotic pain that is called an induced menopause. Certain women who are undergoing a menopause post their 40, matlab 40 ke baad, some people opt for a removal of ovaries and some do not. I would normally say if they are healthy, let them be if you're not menopausal, so that you keep getting your hormones. You moving of a uterus does not mean an induced menopause. It means that only your period is stopped. Once you remove your ovaries, you go into a menopause. Okay, that is induced menopause. One more question I saw: how can you differentiate between symptoms of perimenopause and symptoms of other health conditions? Now, see, remember that when you are going into your menopause or in your perimenopause, as I said, estrogen is a very, very helpful hormone. Estrogen protects your heart, estrogen protects your mood, estrogen protects a lot of things in your body. So when you are going into your menopause or decreasing in your estrogens, there will be certain health issues which will crop up. That means your bp could start shooting, your cholesterol could start shooting. Now there is no basic guideline to diagnose anything of this. पेरीमेनोपॉज के सिम्टम्स तो हजारों है, but remember that most of them are normal. The only thing that I always say, and if you remember, I have been saying from the beginning, get checked. Even if you're going into your perimenopause, go and get checked. Get a routine pap smear done, get a routine scan done, get a routine thyroid checked. So that routine screening will basically rule out that there is nothing pathological, matlab there is nothing medically wrong with you. What is happening is just a transition. Unless you check your thyroid or check your bp or check your heart, for that matter of fact. In fact, palpitations is one of the very common symptom of perimenopause. It does not mean you're having a heart attack. It just means you're going into menopause. Many women go to psychiatrists to deal with their anxiety. Hi, we are the ones to come to. So, there are so many things that overlap, but at the same time, do not ignore your other symptoms. Always get checked. It's always nice to get checked. There is one saying, Aga Khan the Fourth has said, even if you don't like your doctor, get checked. So I know you don't like your doctor. I don't like. Okay, you don't need to tell me. It's fine. You can say you like me, but get checked. Get checked with whoever. You don't want to go to a doctor, go to a diagnostic center, get a master health checkup done. Once in a year, checking your body, especially post COVID, when we are seeing so many health issues in young people, it is always good to get checked. So many cancers we are seeing, always good to get checked. Now, one more question: is there any natural remedy or therapies to reduce? As I said, natural remedies, one most important is exercise. Trust me, exercise. In fact, when I say exercise, it can be anything that you like to do. Let me give you an example. Supposing if you get that symptom of failure to thrive, you remember I told you failure to get up out of your bed and do something. If you pick up something that you like to do, that will be your natural remedy. Maybe you like to cook, you take out a new recipe every day. You like to go shopping, you need not carry your bag, you can window shop as well. So pick out that one activity which you like to do. Trust me, that is a remedy. It is better than taking medicines. That one thing in your day, that 20 minute, be it a music, be it a exercise, be it meeting friends, be it whatever it is, art, it is going to be your natural remedy. Diet, proper diet is a natural remedy. Taking omega 3 is a natural remedy. There is something called estrogen, which is a natural estrogen. It is available in tablet form. Almost you can call it as an Ayurvedic kind of medicine, or plant extract of estrogen, which is again a natural remedy. So all these are your natural remedies. Again, remember, if your thyroid levels come normal, soya in your diet is a natural remedy. So all these count under your natural remedies to abate or to overcome your symptoms of perimenopause. Anything else? One more thing, that when you were spoken about the AMH, AMH is basically a hormone that detects your ovarian reserve. Doing the test at this point of time to know if you're nearing menopause is fine, but remember, do not depend on it for your pregnancy. Now, when I say pregnancy, I just thought there's something that I should have mentioned which I forgot. Now, there are many women who come to us saying they've missed their periods post 40, and they say, pregnancy test kiya. They'll say, अरे मेरे बच्चे तो 15 साल के हैं, 20 साल के हैं. Does that mean you're not going to get pregnant? No. Till you get your period, in fact, till you stop your period for 12 months, you can get pregnant. That means you have to use your contraception till 12 months of no period. Only then you can stop. So you can very, very much get pregnant. So remember that AMH being low does not mean that you will not get pregnant. Pregnancy can come. It is a miracle. It is not science for me to tell you, or some other doctor to tell you, or any human or any test to tell you that you can't get pregnant. Anyone can get pregnant till 12 months of no period. That means till you become menopause.